Hey, I hope everyone is doing great and having a blessed day. Thanks be to God. We're all well and, in good spirits. And if not, I hope I will be able to bring you some blessing from God with this word. Okay? So, per se, but it's because of, let's say, something that happened along the line in your generation. So it could have been a grandmother, it could have been a great grandmother, it could have been a great grandfather, it could have been someone that went against the teachings of God, who went against the will of God and decided to tap into some, black magic, or started worshiping idols or something else. It could have been that. You know how sometimes you're going through something and you're like, how is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Like, I did nothing to anyone. Why is so much bad happening to me? It's not because of you. So you're like, how come nothing I do? Why am I undergoing so much, disappointment, so much suffering, so much pain? Like, why? And then you'll tend to ask God. And Gideon did the same. Right? He did the same. All right, so this is in Judges 6, right? And Gideon said unto him, verse 13, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles which our fathers told us of, saying, Did not the Lord bring us from Egypt? But now the Lord hath forsaken us and delivered us unto the hands of the Midianites. Right? So you're not going to be the first that's going to ask God this question, right? And there's a saying here that wanna drop on head, drop on shoulder. Simply saying, you did something, you might not you might not face the consequences for your actions, but your generation to come will face the consequences for your actions, right? And then, so God sent an angel to him basically because he started talking to God. Something that the people of Israel wasn't doing because they lost their way. So they started seeking other resources other than God. They started trying to find other means, worshiping idols, and forgetting God, that God was the one that brought them to that land. They forgot that God did everything. And, they forgot that it was all God. It was God that blessed them with everything. It was God that blessed them with everything that they had. And it was like they were forgetting where it was coming from. So God, had to give them a reminder. But then God chose him, because he started going back to God, because he remembered that the generation before spoke highly of God and what God did for them. So in verse 25, and it came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, Take thy father's young bullock, even the second bullock of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal that thy father hath, and cut down the grove by it. And build an altar unto the Lord thy God upon the top of this rock in the ordered place, and take the second bullock, and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the grove which thou shalt cut down. And he was afraid to do this. He was afraid to do this because he was the least, because he feared his father's household. He thought that everyone would have been up against him if he did this. But then he's like, I'm talking to the Lord right here, and I saw an angel face to face. I saw one of God's angel face to face. So how can I still believe in Baal? I've never seen Baal do anything for us. We're suffering and we're worshiping an idol. You understand? So after he did what God told him to do, and through it all, God showed him. He asked God, okay, God, I'm not saying you need to prove anything to me, but I need to believe that this is you I'm talking to, because he was done with worshiping Baal and all of that. And he went against his father's household because he believed in God and he trusted God. So the moral here today, right? Even though you grew up seeing something, or seeing your relatives doing something, your mother doing something, your father doing something, your siblings doing something, your aunts, your uncles, you grew up seeing everyone doing something. It doesn't mean you need to do it. You know, you don't have to. What you need to do is go back to the root of it all, which is God. Go back to Him. Pray to Him. There are things that happened before us that we know not of, and we are facing the consequences of it. So what you need to do, go back to God. Ask Him for forgiveness and mercy of whoever had some covenant that was not with Him. And bring those down, and you will see God start to work in your life. It's not you. You don't have to do nothing. All right. So I hope this was a blessing to someone. Y'all stay safe. God be with you all. It was my absolute pleasure. The only way that you will see a change or you will see a difference is by seeking the face of God. Go to God. Forget everything else that you were told. Forget everything else that you were taught. Unlearn it all. Go back to God. He will teach you. He will show you the way. And the blessings won't roll in unless you bring these altars down. And you can only do it through prayer. You can only do it through prayer. God will lead the way. He will tell you what you need to do. He will tell you what should be done. Go to God. So I hope this was a blessing to someone. It's my absolute pleasure, as always, to have been able to share this with you all. Stay safe. God bless. Remember, only God can make the difference in your life. Only God. Okay?